So we see a lot of eschatological features in the book of Joel. You have, first of all, a series of disasters. They signal the impending wrath of God. You have a cosmic battle in which Yahweh triumphs over Israel's enemies. And we see in apocalyptic literature in general a facile equation of the righteous and the wicked with Israel and other nations. And then also we have this outpouring of blessings on God's people, city, and land. And finally, God's continued protection and presence. And nations who are not Israel's enemies join in the worship of God in that final time. Again, note the important difference between classical prophecy and the apocalyptic literature. Both of them speak about final things. Both of them speak about an end time. But the classical prophets did not, in general, expect that the course of human affairs would come to an end. Right? Only that Israel's rebellion would end, or that Israel would live under a perfect king anointed by God. In the apocalyptic imagination, history itself is a closed process. It will end, and then a new age, a new world order would begin. And the present age and the new age are qualitatively distinct. The present age is under the dominion of evil powers. We see it particularly in the apocalyptic writings outside of the Bible and in the New Testament. That power that has dominion over the present age is Satan. Satan is the archenemy of God. Right? The age to come will be free of all evil, moral corruption, and death. Satan will be defeated. But God himself is the one who has to do this. God must intervene to bring the present age to a crashing halt and initiate this new world order. So let's turn now to Daniel for a full apocalyptic work. Daniel also can be divided really into two parts, and the first 6 chapters have often been described as a heroic fiction. They're a bit like the book of Esther that we'll be talking about on Wednesday. Just a good story. And Esther particularly has a lot of irony and is very, very funny. But like the book of Esther, Daniel features a Jew who lives in a Gentile court, and he's saved from disaster. I've listed the kings who are discussed in the book of Daniel. These chapters tell of Daniel's adventures under about 2 Babylonian kings, Nebuchadnezzar and Belshazzar. The text says 2 Babylonian kings, Nebuchadnezzar and Belshazzar, a Median king, Darius, who happens to be unknown to history, a Persian king, Cyrus. That's a whole lot of years. And the historical inaccuracy of the work, right? You have the chronology of more than a century being telescoped here. There's other inaccuracies. Belshazzar was actually never a king. He was sort of a prince regent. He was defeated by Cyrus, not by Darius. So there's tremendous historical inaccuracy. And this is a sign that this was written at a much later time, looking back when the history of the period 300 years ago was very confused. There's no clear historical knowledge of this Persian period, Babylonian and Persian period. And so the book we know was written perhaps the end of the 3rd century, those first 6 chapters. We have a better idea about the remainder of the book. Chapters 7 through 12 are fully apocalyptic in genre, and they were composed between 167 and 164 BCE. This was a time when Jews were suffering intense persecution at the hands of the Seleucid king of Syria, Antiochus Epiphanes, Antiochus IV. And so Daniel is the latest book of the Hebrew Bible.